when Chrissy spoke, Chrissy was my breakout mate yesterday, and she just blew it away. And when she started off, and even said, how she started off saying, you don't have to be there yet to start. And that was really what I needed to hear today, because I know I'm not there yet, but I can start. And that made the difference because I feel like all of y'all are Lisa's PhD program.
I have the beautiful honor and privilege of introducing my classmate and my sister. And this woman I know personally, and she is a beautiful person. And I just wish you and hope you all get the chance to meet her one day. As a high school dropout, Chrissy Boyce was the recipient of a job training program through the OIC of Washington, a nonprofit organization that strives to eliminate unemployment, eliminate poverty, literacy, and racism. The OIC started her on a 22-year career in the dental fields. While in her early 20s, she spoke about her success in this program in front of Congress and was able to work her way off of state assistance as a single mother before her oldest child reached kindergarten. Currently, Chrissy is the founder and CEO of Mind Clarity Coaching and the director of operations for a dental consulting company. She is a certified neurotransformational results and forgiveness coach, as well as currently attending the Lisa Nichols Certified Transformational Training Program. Her passion is to help individuals overcome and persevere through life's challenges by teaching positive mindset techniques and emotional intelligence and energy healing. Without further ado, thank you guys and welcome, 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 Chrissy Boyce. God bless.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I am really honored that all of you are taking the time to spend with me on this day. It's hard to believe that the person she just introduced is me. If I would have introduced myself, I would have said something simple like, "Hi, my name is Chrissy. I've jumped out of an airplane 249 times. I've been pushed out twice and I fell out once, and I can sew literally anything." I sometimes forget how truly amazing my life is and how far I really have come. Because not too long ago, it didn't feel so amazing. I'm about to share a story that I am not fully healed from. And it is my intention that you walk away with a spark of hope that you have more power than you know, and you do not need to wait until you are fully healed, lose the weight, or know it all before you can help others. That's what was holding me back, but not anymore. Just 5 years ago, I was dropping my husband off for his last deployment. As he kissed me goodbye, he gave me a look that sent a chill down my spine. You see, growing up in an abusive environment taught me to be very sensitive to the energy people give off and the patterns that surround everyday situations. If I could just sense something soon enough, I might be able to avoid and even prevent pain and fear. The energy I felt from his look that morning told me I was never going to see him again. And I can tell you, I did not sense it soon enough to prevent the pain and fear that followed. During that next year of my life, I found out that my husband of 13 years had been unfaithful. My beautiful dog Zeus passed away. I was told I had PTSD that had gone undiagnosed my whole life. The home that we were renting was sold out from under me, and then COVID hit, forcing me to move to a small mountain town in Colorado, as that was the only job available after leaving the military. I was lost, sad, and angry. I cried to God every morning. Why? I did everything I was supposed to do. So why? And then I would crawl back into the safety of my bed to sleep away my current reality. I did this every day for years until I stumbled across a webathon that was put on by John Assaraf. I was enjoying the lack of silence with it running in the background as I laid in bed hopeless when I heard him introduce Lisa Nichols. I had met her in person at an event in 2016, and I remembered her from the movie The Secret, the movie that in that moment I didn't realize was in the very process of changing my life. But that's a story for another day. She told her quitters never win, winners never quit story. You know the one I'm talking about. And if you don't, I suggest you look it up on YouTube. Trust me, it is worth it. After hearing that story, I decided to get out of bed. I felt the surge of energy and found myself starting to clean and organize my bedroom. The whole time I'm hearing in my head, quitters never win, winners never quit, over and over. Then I found myself downstairs cleaning and organizing my kitchen, then my living room, all the while chanting out loud now, quitters never win, winners never quit. That entire day and for several months that followed, I felt waves of conflicting emotions. But when I was chanting quitters never win, winners never quit, those emotions subsided. It unknowingly became a mantra that slowly but surely took some of my pain away. I found myself wanting to be that winner, but I knew that it wasn't possible if I kept living my life the way I was. I remembered the story of the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly, which ironically was told to me by my husband, but it stuck with me. You see, there are 4 stages in their life cycle. There's the egg or the birth, there's the larva, which is the caterpillar, the pupa, which is the chrysalis, but most people know it as the cocoon, and the adult, which is the beautiful butterfly. And did you know that the caterpillar does nothing but eat? I mean, it's true. It eats and eats and eats until it can't eat anymore, because if it did, it would eat itself to death. Instead, knowing that it cannot continue life this way, it starts to build a barrier around itself. And this barrier of protection is called the chrysalis. Now, I don't know about the caterpillar, but as a human, I know that every time I have felt overwhelming pain and couldn't seem to find ways to move forward in life, I built walls. At one point in time, I even called myself a professional wall builder, as if I was proud of it. I mean, that's what I was doing every day as I was choosing to sleep my reality away. I had built a wall so big, no one could get in. We tend to build walls thinking they will protect us, but the problem is they keep out the good things too. Has anyone here ever experienced that? Look around you. You're not alone. Here's where the story gets interesting for me. When the caterpillar enters the chrysalis, it dies. I mean, it's gonna die anyways if it eats itself to death. So why exert the energy to build a layer of protection if it's just gonna die? And it doesn't just die either. It turns to goo, like actual goo. There is no trace of the caterpillar left after it turns to goo. It sounds ugly, but this is where the beauty of its transformation takes place. You see, if the caterpillar were to choose to eat itself to death, its life would end there, giving nothing to this world, only taking from it. But instead, it sacrifices itself for something beautiful that gives life, the butterfly. A butterfly not only provides visual beauty to this world, but it pollinates it, giving actual life. And just like the caterpillar, I knew I couldn't go on living the way that I was living. So I had a choice to make. I could continue the way I was going and die emotionally inside, being angry for the rest of my life, taking from the world and never giving to it. Or I could sacrifice my painful circumstance to learn the life-giving lesson. A lesson that could give life to not only myself, but others as well. 7 months ago, I chose to enter my chrysalis. I sold my home, I joined the Motivating the Masses tribe, and I started the journey of transformation with Coach Sean Smith and his community. 7 months ago, I was emotionally injured, angry at the world, and I couldn't speak in front of an audience without hyperventilating. I'm not kidding. Ask Sean, ask Lisa, ask all my classmates here. They'd be like, they call my name, and I would be like, Lisa would literally be like, Chrissy, breathe, breathe. Seriously, that was me 7 months ago. Because years of pain and suffering, not feeling seen, heard, respected, or loved, completely shut my voice down to the point that my body would literally stop breathing when I tried to speak. 7 months ago, I allowed the husband I thought I had, the marriage I thought I had, the home I thought I had, and my beautiful dog, Zeus, all the shame and guilt I was feeling die. I chose to let it die and turn to goo. It wasn't easy, but because I chose to do this and I did the hard work, and when I say hard, people, I mean hard. It's ugly, it's messy, and it's embarrassing at times. But when you choose to do this work in a supportive community like this one, miracles happen. I now have the husband of my dreams, the marriage of my dreams, a new home in Lisa and Sean's community who loved me through my seriously ugly and messy transformation, by the way. Beautiful instead of sad memories of my beautiful dog Zeus. No more guilt and shame. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not hyperventilating. I may still be in my chrysalis, but I am transforming. And someday soon, I will emerge a full-grown, beautiful butterfly. Now, some of you may be wondering what happened to my husband. And I will tell you, I never did see that man again. Because the man who came home chose to enter his chrysalis. I hear the question all the time, how can you stay with someone who has done so much to you? And to quote Lisa Nichols, she says, the way you forgive the perceivably unforgivable, the way you love the perceivably unlovable, the way you accept what seems to be unacceptable, the way you embrace after you've been betrayed, the way you do that is the way you lead us. So my answer to that question is, I choose to lead with love and forgiveness because men suffer too. They need nurturing, love, and compassion just as much as we do. But the great ones, they choose to transform their life. And my husband, let me tell you, he's one of the great ones. Now, this doesn't mean that it couldn't happen again. I'm not naive anymore. But if it did, it wouldn't destroy me like it did before, because remember, I'm in my chrysalis. I'm goo. There is no trace of my caterpillar left. 7 months ago, that version died and turned to goo. And this new still in the chrysalis, almost butterfly, is a badass that loves herself. So I'll be okay. Nothing, in my opinion, can move mountains the way love and forgiveness can. And you can never understand its power if you have never been given the opportunity to extend it. And I'm not talking about the love and forgiveness that's easy. I'm talking about giving love and forgiveness when your world has stopped and you feel you have nothing left to give. Has anyone here ever needed to forgive someone? Has anyone here ever needed forgiveness? Yeah. It's amazingly powerful whether you're giving or receiving it. Do you remember in the beginning when I told you I could sow anything? Well, I'd like to leave by sowing some seeds. This first seed is for hope. No matter where you find it, hope is essential for a happy and fulfilling life. It gives us the courage to face our fears and the motivation to keep going, even when things are difficult. I found my hope from Lisa's Quitters Never Win story. Where will you find yours? This next seed? This seed is for strength. What emotional weight are you carrying around with you? Emotional weight can be just as real and debilitating as physical weight. It can make it difficult to function in everyday life and even can lead to a number of health problems. And the good news is, you have the power to let it go. This next seed is for compassion. Who are you willing to forgive, including yourself, in order to free yourself from the prison of emotional pain and distress? Not forgiving can lead to a wide range of negative emotions such as anger, resentment, bitterness, and hatred. These emotions can be very painful and can make it difficult to enjoy life. I thought I was forgiving my husband by loving him through his pain, but I didn't truly understand its power until I learned to love and forgive myself. This last seed, it's the best one. This seed is for life. If you had nothing standing in your way, what would you want for your life? What would your life look like? Now, with your permission, I would like to take everyone through a quick visualization exercise. And if you don't want to, please know that it is 100% okay. There is no judgment here, and you are always at choice. But for those of you who do, I would like to invite you to get in a comfortable seated position and close your eyes just for a moment. After you have closed your eyes, take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Allow yourself to relax every muscle in your face, neck, shoulders, and legs. And with your eyes closed, imagine you see a dried up garden right in front of you. Every dried up weed, flower, blade of grass, and tree represents something in your past that has caused you pain. Now imagine going into that garden, and with the power of your mind, you're able to pull every dried weed, flower, blade of grass, and tree, and it just disappears into thin air. And with the power of your mind, you are able to till the soil, plant the seeds, provide the water, and command the sun to rise. Imagine these seeds growing in this garden that is your life. What would your garden look like? What would it feel like? Sound like? Taste like? Would it bear fruit? Would it smell like fresh flowers? Would you hear the wind rustle through the leaves or birds singing their songs? Really soak this in. Now, I'd like you to think of one word that represents this garden that is your life. Now, take your garden, the feelings, the images, the sounds, and this word that represents it, and let it absorb deep into your heart so that it will always be with you. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and open your eyes. Anytime you feel sadness, fear, or pain, I invite you to look into your heart and see your garden and say the word that represents it. Say the word over and over until you feel the pain subsiding. The title of my talk today is Entering the Chrysalis, Dying to Live Again. When we choose to enter our chrysalis, we let a circumstance die so that we can transform into a new life, one that we have chosen. We can choose to enter our chrysalis at any time and for any reason. And the important thing to know is that it takes a spark of hope, a change in mindset, and a support system. It starts with you making the choice, and every single one of you here has the power to create the life of your dreams. So I leave you with one question to help you get started. What painful circumstances are you willing to let die and turn to goo so that you can transform and live again? Thank you. I love you all. If you would like to know more about my coaching services or maybe why I was pushed out of the airplane a couple times, you can find me at mindclaritycoaching.com. I'm on Facebook as Mind Clarity Coaching.